Hello everyone. Today we're going to show you how you can dynamically add records to a subform um, at the time that you're actually entering a new record. So in this case, we put together this gym application. You can see that whenever you want to, add a new member, you have three different subforms: health data, memberships, and classes. The test that we're going to do today is we're going to dynamically add some classes here into the record um, on the time of creation, so that you can, instead of manually adding the classes, you can automatically have two, three, four, or as many classes as you want, and then you can just delete instead of add, or just edit whatever data doesn't fit. So for this test, okay, I'm gonna add a coach first, because we're gonna need, let's say, the coach joined the gym last November. His name is Joe Blow, and he's active. Oh, this is the email. Okay, so here's Joe Blow. Then you can put joeblow@gmail.com. All right, and it's active. So we have that coach. Let's put another coach here. And let's say that this other coach joined back in September, on August. Full Arnold Palmer. Email arnoldpalmer at hotmail.com. Please don't email anybody with this email. We don't know, whose email this is. This is just a test. Okay, so we have two coaches, and then under admin we have main classes report. So this is where you add all the classes that your gym offers. So for example, okay, if the gym offers yoga, then you can put a brief description. Okay, yoga class is under room C4 at 4 p.m. Need to bring your mat, blah 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 blah. And then you can select who does this class. So let's say that it's Arnold Palmer. You click submit, perfect. And then you add another class, let's say karate. You add a description with the details and say Joe Blow is the coach. And then we add a bench press class. And then let's say that either Arnold or Joe can give the class. So I have two coaches. So there's those three classes. So let's do a test with these three, okay? So one way, like when you add a new membership, you would say, okay, someone joins today. Full name is Susan Wayne. The email susanwayne@gmail.com. Mobile, blah blah blah. Birth date, you can type anything in there. And normally you would do, okay, the health data, the membership, and the classes. So what we're gonna do here is, once I click submit, I want to be able to create the classes here for this person automatically, like adding rows to the subform automatically. So by doing this, then I can go back in and automatically have those records in here. So the way we do that is we need to create a custom function. Let's see, let's go to the workflow function section, and we're going to create a function. And we're going to call it subform rows create. Okay. And in this case, we want to specify the argument, which is the membership ID of the person that we're creating. We need that value to call the record. Okay, so member, I'm gonna call the memberships, right? And then let's see. Yep, there it is. So the ID of that record equals the parameter that we're passing through the function, okay? So with this, the first step, I'm going to put it here. First step is to call, which is get the record in question. Not the subform, but the record, right? Okay, then we're going to manipulate data access. So what we want to do is we want to add a record, right? And we're going to call this variable class. I'm going to call it class. Insert into classes. That's where we want to insert it. But let's see, insert into classes. Let's do this again. Let me see, what are the parameters? Add the record. Insert into, okay, yeah, got it. Into classes, okay. I'm gonna call it CLA. We're gonna insert into classes. The first field here, it's the name of the class, right? Okay, but first, before we do that, we need to say, okay, for each record in main classes, so we say for each record in main classes, ID is not null. If you use this expression, ID not null, it's going to push or iterate over all the records in this form. So second step, let's see, is iterate through the records you want to add to the subform. So that's the record. And then inside that function, so we're saying for each record in the main classes, we want to insert that information into the, let's do this, step 3, insert data into the subform. Okay, so the name we want to map, it's gonna be coming from this function rec.name. The description is gonna come from the record description. The coaches are gonna come from the coaches, right? And then let's see, we need to map the membership ID. Can you guess where this is coming from? You can either use this value here, or you can call it member ID, because it's the same thing, or you can just use the integer value that you're using to call the membership record. So now what this is you're telling here the subform classes that this information belongs under this membership record. Does that make sense? So first we get the membership record. Second, we iterate through the records you want to add to the subform. Could be main classes or whatever. And then you insert that information into the subform itself. But this is key. You need to tell the system that your subform record belongs to this particular form, okay? And after that, we're golden. The only thing that you need to do now is go back to the form. So let's say we're under memberships and decide, where do you want to create that workflow. So we can set it up on add on success, right? And we can call this function here. But remember, we need to make sure that we're passing the ID of the membership, which we already have here, which is input ID on the record of the membership. And don't forget to put all the proper connections there. And then if you want, you can also do on edit, on load. I'm going to test it so that you can see it here. I'm going to put the same. And by the way, I call this function with a miscellaneous section called function. You can just copy and paste it if you already have it. And then that's it. We just go there and take a look at what happens here. So on the members that I already have, if I edit this record, oh, it didn't work. So let's take a look. Well, let's test it first. One thing that it's always good to do, maybe I didn't save it, but it's always good to get an ID so that you can actually test the function directly before you even place it anywhere else. So I'm gonna grab the ID of this record, and now I'm gonna go to the function. Let's see. Yeah, so I want to validate if I'm getting the record that I need. So let's do member ID here, okay? I want to validate if I was able to get a record here for class. Let me see. Okay. Oh, MID. Yeah, this is why it didn't work. I think it's always better to use like that. So it has to be input MID, .mid, otherwise it's not going to read it. So when in doubt, use the reference about the record that you already pulled. So I think this is it. So say log meshes null, okay. So there seems to be create memberships ID equals input MID. Yeah, it's not memberships, it's members. I'm sorry. The function is members, not memberships. Yep, there it is. So members, member, there it is. Okay, so now it's gonna work. Make sure that you check all your form names. The name of the form is members. Yeah, members. Okay. So now if I edit the record, let's see. Classes are still not there. I wonder if we have something that it's not properly named again. Let's see. So members, member, main classes ID, no. I'm gonna insert into classes the name, and the member ID. Let's execute it and test. Yeah, got the log message, perfect. So let's go back. And here are the classes. Okay. So let's test this again with a new record. So if I add another name here, testing new record, testing at gmail.com, mobile date, then I just click submit, and then go back to the testing record. Okay, the function is not working here, so we need to revise, let's see, the execution on the members list. Let's see, members, actions on success. Oh, okay, yeah, it's not working because there's nothing. I think we put the function under memberships. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so we need to remove this from here because it's not under memberships. It has to be under members. So I'm gonna test it with onEdit onload, okay? Just for the sake of testing this function. And now if I go to a record and I edit the testing, yep, it works, it ran it. Let's see. It's not working. So now what could be the issue? Let's see, members, onEdit onload. I'm gonna test it on success. Create subform rows, input ID. Yes. So this one already has the classes, good. And this one, yeah, already has the classes there. So it worked, but it doesn't load it on onload. I guess the system has to read what it has first. But let's do it again, confirming that it's actually working properly. So we lift it on success. Last testing record, testing at gmail.com, mobile birthday, and do nothing but just submit. Yep. And then if I edit this, yep, the classes are there. So now it's working. So this is how you can dynamically add records into a subform based on information that you have stored elsewhere. You could also do this by just creating a form with, like if you want to add 5 rows into the subform, you just create a form with 5 empty records that doesn't have to have any information on it, and you don't need like a description or code. It could be just like one field, and then you just tell the system to run through this iteration form that already has 5 records, and then the system will enter those five records for you with no data, like blank. But in this case, we are actually adding records with information from another form within the application. So I hope this clarifies. This is one way you can actually dynamically add records into a subform. Also, make sure this assumes that you already know how to properly set a subform. If you do not know how to properly set a subform, please check our Master Zoho course, which is down below in the link, and you can make sure that you're properly setting up your subforms within the app before you actually build these functions to import data from one place into another. I'm gonna copy this script for you in the description of the video as well, so that you can just copy and paste and change the name of your forms. All right. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and please don't forget to share, like, and visit us on our website for any other Zoho Creator requirements or scripts that you're looking for. Okay. Take care.